What's up, guys? Welcome back. Jeffrey Valdavi here, also known as the Healer, Jeff. People are going to challenge you, and they're going to make you feel less than, because your aura, your energy, okay, whether you're, practicing spiritual practices, whether you're fasting or not, it doesn't matter. Your raw energy, even if you're, not looking your best or feeling your best or at your best, the second you enter the presence of regular people who are asleep, okay, for lack of better words, I'll just say they're asleep, okay, on so many levels, the second you enter their presence, you are a target. Now, I don't want this video, this message, or this video to be all doom and gloom, okay? That's not the point here. The point here is that you and I, we are so special and so blessed in so many ways that the people around us and the world around us, the environment around us distracts us from who and what we are. My mission here on earth is to help other people by helping them heal, and hopefully they awaken, but also by reaching out to other men like me, but also women, okay, and showing them that it's okay to be human, it's okay to be authentic and real, and it's okay to have empathy in a world where so many good people out here, well, there's no such thing as good and bad people, but so many people out here have completely lost the ability to actually be human because they're so locked into the matrix, they're so locked into the system. All they care about is money, their image, and especially for men, okay, if you're a guy watching, listen up. Society ingrains in our head that we have to prove why we should be here. We have to prove our usefulness. We have to prove our utility. But as a man, we don't even have to do that. All right, as on my 82nd day of SR, as of right now, okay, it's not the sole benefit or my number one purpose of doing SR, but doing SR has helped me to see and understand that as a man, my purpose has been skewed. I have been listening to the wrong people, okay, people who don't even care about me, listening to the wrong message and the wrong script. So whether you're a man or a woman, this is what this video is going to be about. This is what this message is today. You need to think for yourself, okay? You need to write your own rules. You need to, if you're a man especially, you need to have your own code of what you will and will not follow, what you will and will not tolerate. And if anybody crosses that code, or crosses that boundary, rather, it's your job to get up and walk away. Remove access. It doesn't matter if it's a job, a relationship, a family member, a parent, a child. It don't matter. A friend, a neighbor, a pastor, someone who you go to church with. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you're religious. This world is every man for himself. And as I said before, okay, in a previous recording, yes, it is okay to have self-love. Yes, you must put yourself first, because it is me, myself, and I until death do I part, okay? You need to learn that, and don't forget that, okay? It's me, myself, and I till death do I part, all right? But people out here have turned that into a toxic script. So people out here, they love themselves, but they hate themselves. They hate themselves so much. Men don't respect themselves. Women have super low self-esteem and are insecure. And so they cover it up like a band-aid by saying that I love myself. But the reality is, if I were to look at this person or this man or this gal, I can tell instantly they're run by the matrix. They don't love themselves at all. That's why they need smartphones and money and clothing and fancy cars and social media to keep their image up so it can look like they love themselves, okay? But the reality is they don't, okay? So when someone like me enters the room, like I said at the beginning of this video, when I enter their presence, they immediately feel like a fraud. They feel like a phony because I'm not. And I'm not gassing myself up here, guys. I'm just being honest here. Based on the behavior and the attitudes I've gotten over the past 2, 3, 4 years, I know for a fact that as I enter the room, other people they immediately, I've said before, they hate me or they love me. But 99% of the time, they hate me, okay? And keep in mind that somebody can love you but not like you. So that can go for a parent or child, especially in those types of relationships, sibling, family. Your family can love you or say they love you, but deep down inside, they do not like you. They won't do anything for you, and they loathe helping you out, okay? That's what I've found. So what I'm trying to say is the balance that needs to be found is, okay, self-love, but not in the toxic way. Because when self-love becomes toxic, when the ego becomes inflated, it turns into narcissism. It turns into manipulation, okay? And you know what's funny is I did get a message, or I got I don't want to say a vision necessarily, but this 3D plane is just a distraction. For example, I was born and put on this earth, right, for a specific purpose and a mission, but I figured out very quickly that this plane, this earth plane, is a distraction, okay? Nobody wants me to see through their BS. And when I do see through their BS, I'm the bad guy, okay? The system, the jobs I've worked at, the family that I've interacted with, their worldviews, when I point out the flaws in their worldview, when I try to help them in a very kind way, okay? And this happened like a year and a half ago even, when I pointed something out to a family member. Immediately, automatically, I'm the bad guy because, one, I'm chosen, and they don't like that, so they're jealous. Number two, the anointing of God is on me, so people sense that, and again, they're jealous. So they'll try to hurt me by any means necessary, whether that be a comment, changing plans, trying to ruin my day, saying they'll do something but they don't follow through. Well, I guess that's the first thing I just said, right? But even at work, you know, being treated like I'm a 15, 16-year-old when everyone knows that I'm in my late 20s, okay? It's just, the list goes on and on. And you would think that, don't these people have a heart? Don't they have a soul that they'll realize that this is another human being I'm interacting with? And they don't realize that. They don't even care. And they don't know that even at my worst, I still see people as human beings, okay? Even at my worst and at their worst. And they don't even care. It's like nobody even knows. Everyone's asleep. And it's really sad. It's really, really, really sad, okay? It's like people aren't living anymore. And so that's why I said earlier, everybody is asleep. They need to awaken. And obviously, you all know I don't mean woke, like the woke movement. No, I mean awaken from the slumber. Awaken from the zombiness, the zombie behavior that these people are doing. And it's just so sad. Like, nobody seems to care. And it's never going to change, I don't think. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, but it's as if it's never going to change, because I try to be that change and it doesn't work. It backfires every single time. At work, family, a friend or a couple friends that I've tried to make over the past 4 years, it never materializes. It just, nothing ever becomes of it. And I'm beginning to realize, but I've realized across the board, my dear viewers, it's not your fault and it's not my fault. It's not us, it's them. And I'm not trying to be this person here getting on the camera saying it's us versus them and be divisive. No, I don't want any division. In fact, that's what I really don't like. It's just that everything out here is so divided, and like Jesus said, you separate the sheep from the goats, okay? Or the Heavenly Father separates the sheep from the goats. And I'm not trying to get all preachy and religious on you, but I want to talk about this, is that when the sheep realize that they are not goats, and the goats realize that they have not become sheep, or they are not sheep, it's automatic division right there. And the funny thing is about it is that, I'm not trying to take life too seriously. In fact, I don't take life seriously at all. That's probably why in the workplaces people think I'm, they don't take me seriously, because they sense that I don't take anything else seriously. And why should I, okay? It's just that I care about what I do with my heart and soul. Okay, I have passion for certain things in life, including this right here, what I'm doing right now on the camera. But when I go into work, I want to do my best, and I don't understand why people are so just, I can't really put a word to it, but it's like I said, they're dead. They're zombies. They're dead. They have no heart and no soul, because no matter how old these people are, okay, they have been this way their whole life. And I will never be able to understand or put myself in their shoes about how cold-hearted these people are, because they've been that way their whole life. I haven't. I've been the opposite. I've been warm. I've been awake. I've been empathetic. I've been, I'm not trying to, again, gas myself up here, but I have to tell you this, people, that I cannot fathom what living a life in their shoes is like, because it is dark. And I'm not talking about the dark nights that I've gone through. I'm talking about what they walk, the path they walk is dark. And when I walk in, it's, I don't know how much longer I can go for, is what I'm trying to say. And I've said this before in other videos, but I know, but I don't know how much longer I can go. I don't know how much more I can take. It's really depressing and discouraging, because I can't win. If I keep to myself, I can't win. If I am outgoing, I can't win. If I shine my light, I can't win. If I'm authentic, I don't win. But if I'm like them, I don't win either, because, again, it doesn't come naturally to be that way, be a dark person, okay? But number two is that they it's like they can see. It's funny, because when other people are being dark and evil, I can see right through it, and that bothers them. But when I'm being dark and evil, people see right through that too, and it bothers them, even though they're not so good people. Okay, they're people who do terrible things. So whether I'm like them or I'm not, I never win. So that's why I tell you guys, it's always better to stay true to yourself. Ignore these haters. They're haters, okay? Be true, be authentic, be real, okay? And stay true to yourself, even if that means you're quiet, even if that means that, people think you're immature or you're underdeveloped. Just be you, okay? Because you're not going to win. You're going to be miserable if you are like them. You're going to be even more miserable if you're like them. So, I just saw a truck go by and it said stop sign on the back of the truck. So I never seen that before, but I'm going to take that as a sign to end the video right here. But take care, guys. Thanks for viewing. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment.